and Easton. We live in a camper full time, so we kind of just wanted to show you guys like what a morning in our camper looks like. What are we gonna do? We are gonna make a smoothie. So it's mountain time over here. It's 9:45 in the morning. Easton over here normally does not sleep very well at all, and he actually slept until 9:30 this morning. So I actually got a lot of work done this morning, which never happens. Normally I have to like fight him while I'm working. So it was really, really nice to get some work done this morning. But we are going to make a smoothie, and what else do you get this morning? You get a sticker. Why do you get a sticker? You peed on the potty. High five. Oh, high foot. High foot. Silly. All right. So first, let me show you where we keep the stickers. We keep them underneath our TV, and he has 3 different kinds to choose from. So we got dog stickers, we got sports stickers, and we have stars. So there's the sports, there's dogs, there's the stars. Let's see here. All right. There's our lovely laundry we have to do still. Come here, buddy. All right. What sticker do you want to pick out for going on the potty? Which one? You want the big football? And hey, who's on your shirt? Blippi. All right. Which one do you want? Show me. Which sticker do you want? Can you show me?
This one. This.
You want a basketball? Have you been playing basketball in your room? Have you been doing that? Let me see. You want basketball?
Basketball.
I'll play basketball after we eat breakfast. You want basketball sticker? Is that what you want? It's a big sticker. You want the big sticker to go on your shirt? No. You don't want the basketball? You want a dog again? You do. All right, let mommy open it. Let's see.
Here.
Let's see.
Here.
What kind of smoothie are we going to make today?
Well,
You want the yellow drink? That's a good choice. All right. Which doggy sticker do you want? Oh, you want the cat? No, you want the wiener dog? All right, let me get it for you. No? You got to pick a sticker, silly. Easton's picking out a sticker for going on the potty. We are working on potty training while we are living in a camper, which has been very interesting. If you have any tips for potty training or any questions about camper life, be sure to drop them in the comments so we can answer them this morning while we're making our breakfast. What'd you get? Show the camera. Oh, you got a dog. Good job. That's awesome. Easton got a sticker for going on the potty this morning. We are working on potty training while we live in a camper. Easton slept until 9:30 this morning. We're going to make one of our favorite drinks. What kind of drink are we going to make? A yellow drink? All right, let's get started. Should we show everybody what our view looks like outside of our camper? Come here. You want to come open the door? Yeah? We love living in a camper. Say, drop your questions down here so we know what to answer for everybody. Ready? We live in the desert. Let's see. Open it up. Open it up. Whoa. This is our view outside of our camper. We're currently in the high desert, which has been awesome. We are at an up-and-coming campground, so there's vintage campers over there that people rent out. Oh, Aunt Dawn said, good morning, Easton. Can you say good morning, Aunt Dawn? Easton, say it. But we are getting some... Oh. There you go. Say it again. Good job. But yeah, so this is our view right now. My husband is right over there working with one of our new coworkers. We have solar panels that we are getting figured out. And yeah, this is kind of just what our outside looks like. Are you ready to make our smoothie? Yeah. All right, go sit down. Should we leave the door open? We like to leave this screen door open. Get some of like the natural air in so we can actually separate those. Take this. And then we can close this so the bugs don't come in. Because we do have bugs that come in. What kind of bugs do we see here? Stink bugs. Those are Mommy's least favorite. Okay, go sit down so we can make our smoothie. Come on. All right. Go sit down. Okay, so we're going to get making our... And bees. And yes, we do see bees here. Okay, we got to find... Let's see. So, Something that I wish that was different about our camper kitchen is that it was bigger. Everything about having a tiny house has been better. Like, we have just like such few things. Everything we have has a purpose. Everything we have has a home. And like everything about having a smaller house has been like phenomenal for us. But something that I do really miss is a little bit bigger of a kitchen. Our sink is just small, so it's like hard to keep up with dishes and things like that. But we've learned, like, we're slowly figuring it out, but I do miss having a bigger kitchen. But okay, here's all the pieces to our blender. Here. Right here. Oh, you got your dog sticker for going on the potty? Good job. Are we potty training while we're in the camper?
Yeah.
Say, when we're potty training in a camper, we don't have room in our bathroom for a second toilet, so the toilet stays in the sink, and then whenever he has to use it, we bring it out here, and then whenever he's done, we just have to rinse it out and put it back. So, let's see. Let's get a smoothie going this morning. What goes in our smoothie, buddy? Do you remember? Frozen bananas. What else? You know what this is?
Yeah.
What is that? Spinach. Easton cracks me up. So we're making a breakfast smoothie in the camper. We live in a camper. We just moved into a camper back in November, so we're still like really new at it. We are originally from Missouri, and we're really happy that we're not in Missouri right now because they've been dealing with so much snow and ice lately. So I'm really happy that we don't have to deal with that. In Arizona, the winters right now have been getting like 20s still. Like, it's still cold at night. I'm sorry, at night, not in the winters, but at night it's been like 20s. During the day though, it's been like 40s, 50s, 60s, and the sun just beating down on you. Like, we've had to break out the tank tops already and stuff. So we are super thankful for all of that. Oh, hey, you can't take all the stickers. You gotta go on the potty again to get another sticker, goofball. Did you steal 2 stickers? You want to come show the camera what 2 stickers you picked out for going potty? Look. Oh, good job. Nice. We are potty training in the camper right now, which has been interesting. But Easton slept for me so well today. So I work from home. I have 3 jobs, I guess, at the moment. I work for a marketing firm that I've worked for a long time. And at this campground that we live at, so we are work campers. So work camping is basically like we work. The first few hours we work every week paid to live here, so we don't have like a rent or anything like that. And then every hour after that we get paid. So I do social media marketing for the campground that we live at also, which has been a lot of fun. It's been totally different from my regular marketing job, so that's been good. Easton, what else goes in the smoothie besides frozen bananas and frozen spinach? Do you remember? What goes in the dates? Nope, we're not putting the dates in this one. That's the brown drink. We're making the yellow drink. Remember? We need some peanut butter, some cocoa powder, and some collagen. So we have 3 different things that we have to add in here. So far we have frozen banana, frozen spinach. I need a spoon. If you're looking for a great way, we need Daddy's help with what? Oh, that's okay. So if you're looking for a really healthy smoothie that is toddler approved, this has been amazing. Easton will drink so much of this, I basically just have to make like 2 adult servings now because 1 adult serving and 1 kid serving is not enough. If you have any questions about camper life, please drop them in the comments so we know what to answer and talk about while we're cooking breakfast this morning. This is some of that organic peanut butter, so there's always like that liquid on the top, and it makes for such a creamy smoothie for sure. But what questions about camper life do you guys have? Like, I feel like I was the one asking questions like not that long ago, so it's crazy to me to be able to like answer other people's questions now. But we did move into a camper back in November. We are out here in Arizona on a temporary work assignment. We do have a new assignment coming up for the summer. We are not quite ready to talk about where that is yet publicly, but we are getting ready to move again in April, so we are really excited for our new destination. The biggest difference between this campground and the campground that we are going to, our door just blew shut because that's how crazy the wind is out here in the desert. But the biggest difference between the destination that we're in now and the destination that we're going to be in this summer is that this campground is like a very, very new campground. We literally are doing things, when I say we, my husband, I'm not doing these things, but he's like putting in like septic systems and stuff. So like it's a brand new campground, where the one that we'll be at this summer is already established. And so we are going to have full hookups and everything once we go to our next destination, which will be nice. Hey, you cannot have more stickers so you go on the potty again, silly. I see you trying to take them. We are potty training a toddler in the camper right now, which has been fun, especially because we don't have room for the toilet in the bathroom, so he gets to potty train in the kitchen. But we have like this little like toy training potty that he has, and he's doing really good on it so far. Like, we aren't pushing it like hard yet. Like, we're trying to get him to like understand what the feeling is before we like push it hard. But he's learning like really fast, so we will be teaching him more soon. But what questions do you have about camper life? We are a family, so like it's me, my husband, my toddler, and we do have 2 dogs. His room is a disaster, but I have to get a measuring cup anyway. So here, if you guys want to see his room, so this is his room. I just changed his diaper and forgot to throw it away. I gotta grab that. But yeah, so these cubbies normally have like the toys in them, and he just has a tendency to dump them out. It's a disaster. You're right. We're gonna have to clean it up together. And then we do have 2 dogs. So this is Easton's bed. So he sleeps up here, and to secure him, to make sure he doesn't fall off, we have this net, and there's nails and staples around the entire thing. And all we do is we hook this to the nail and hook this to the hook, and then it's actually really tight. He's actually rolled off and has just been like laying right here before, and it kept him so safe, so we never had to worry about that. People like are so worried about like families living in a camper, and like they're worried that he won't have privacy and things like that. But between him, literally the only other people he shares a room with are the dogs. He has his door so we can shut the door. It's a disaster. We're gonna have to clean it up. You're right. But there are a lot of campers where you're right, buddy. There are a lot of campers where they just have like bunks without like having like a whole bedroom. So we really, you can go play with the basketball hoop. So it was really important to us when we were choosing a camper to choose one that would fit our needs. And he has been a very poor sleeper. I'm gonna put the basketball hoop up. But it was really important to us to have a room for him, like with a door, because he does not sleep very well, and we knew that like he would easily be woken up to like noises and stuff. So we picked a camper specifically. Mommy has to finish making the breakfast smoothie. There you go. I turned the lights on. He loves his light up basketball net. But it was really important to us when we had a camper to pick out one that fit our needs, and our needs was an extra bedroom. So that limited the amount of campers that we could choose from for sure, but not by a whole lot. So it's really important that if you are looking at moving into a camper to think about what you actually need, because like this is our home. Like we spend as much time in this camper as people do in their homes. So like that was really, really important to us, and we didn't want to settle for that because we knew that that would cause some chaos. So we didn't. And so it's really important. Just think about what your family's specific needs are and go from there. And if you just got on, my family and I, we live in a camper. There is 3 of us. It's me, my husband, and my toddler. Say hi. Hi. And 2 dogs. We moved into a camper back in November, moved from Missouri to Arizona, and we are moving states again this summer. And I am so excited because this has just been an awesome journey so far. So I'm making a breakfast smoothie. We have, I'm sorry, that was nice. Oh my gosh, thank you for telling me that I'm muted. That's what I get for being on live video and walking around, I guess. But thank you for telling me that. Easton used to be really afraid of the blender, but we did this thing, like we started with him when he was really young doing this thing called the blender dance, and it makes him like not afraid of the blender anymore. It makes him like excited to be a part of using it. Oh, you know what? Oh my God. So this is a great example of how camper life keeps you on your toes. So right now our generator is turned off because we typically don't need a lot of electricity during the day. So we cannot use our blender. So I have to go plug in. Hold on, buddy. I have to go get the generator started to be able to use the blender before we can cook breakfast. So at our next campground, since it'll be more established, we will have constant electricity, constant water, constant sewer, all of that. But right now we are at a newly established campground that does not have those things totally set up yet. We are working on getting solar, but the solar has been picky. Hey, let go of that. I gotta go get the generator started. Do you want to watch? Do you want to watch me get the generator started? And then hopefully the generator has gas, because sometimes we run out of gas and then we still can't use it. Sometimes I might have to call my husband to the rescue. We'll see. I'm going to try to do it myself first. He's always the one that does that. Hey, can we have electricity, please? We don't got none. I was trying to use the blender. Thank you. He was right outside. That actually worked out really good. Hey, look, say hi, Dada. My husband works on the campground too, so sometimes we just open our door and there he is. Daddy's gonna turn the generator on. Huh? I'm on a video. Yeah, so that works out really, really nice. That sometimes my husband is literally just like outside the door. So he is like the one that handles all of that. Like, I don't understand how it all works. Like, I know how to hook up to the generator, but like, especially solar, I don't know anything about solar. So I'm really thankful that he takes over that kind of stuff. He takes over like dumping our different water tanks and things like that. Utilities have been our biggest challenge living in a camper. If you have any camper questions, please drop them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. But utilities have been one of our biggest challenges. There have been several nights. So like I mentioned earlier, like Arizona nighttime does get down to like 20s still. And the propane has run out on us in the middle of the night before, and so we live 35 minutes away from everything, and on top of that, no one fills propane in the middle of the night. So we have had to... Someone said they still can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hopefully you can hear me now. Yeah?
Hi.
Oh, you can hear me? That's good. Don't touch any buttons. Nuh-uh. But yeah, so we've had propane run out. We gotta wait for Daddy to turn the generator on. Hold on. So we've had to wait until morning to have propane and heat and everything, which has been rough. Right now, we do have 2 space heaters, though, and we do have a propane heater. But again, if the propane's out, like, you can't even hook up to this little propane heater. And we've learned that the electricity capacity in our camper can only power 1 space heater at a time, and since Easton does have a door, we obviously put the heat in there for him. So my husband and I have just been freezing sometimes. There was one time where it was so bad that we had to wake our son up, put him in our bed, and then put the space heater in our bedroom because that's how cold it was, and we just weren't going to be able to like make it all night like that. But that's literally only happened like once or twice, and like it's been such a learning process this whole time. Like I said, we always have to get milk for him. We always just like bring propane bottles and gas cans to town whenever we do go to town for errands and stuff. But so whenever we go to town, we'll top off the propane, top off the gas tank, and then when we come home, even if we're having, like, even if the generator runs out, even if the propane runs out, we have more. So that's been super helpful for us. I hear, oh, okay, we just got, what just happened? What was that noise? The generator turned on, so now we can make our smoothie. Okay, let mommy plug it back in. But like I was saying before we realized we didn't have electricity this morning, Easton used to be really afraid of the blender, and like it used to scare him really bad. Like I used to literally like make a smoothie in like the bathroom and stuff. Oh, do blender dance, blender dance. So we started doing the blender dance, where he'll dance while he uses the blender all at the same time. Do blender dance, blender dance. Good job. You doing the blender dance? Oh, you're so silly. You're so silly. Are you doing so much better now? Okay, let's check it. Let's check it. Let's check it. Let's see if it's good. Oh. I think it's good. But yeah, so doing the blender dance has helped him not be so afraid of the blender anymore. And smoothies are a great meal for the camper because it doesn't use a whole lot of dishes. Hold on. You're making a mess. Smoothies do not make a big mess in the camper. They do not use a lot of dishes. Quit touching. I'm going to get you some. They don't make a whole lot of mess in the camper. And like I mentioned earlier, our sink is really, really small. So it can be really challenging to have a camper kitchen, which is crazy because everything else about living in a camper has been amazing, but we do wish that we had a bigger kitchen, so we might, like, if we ever have to switch campers down the road, might try to get, like, a slightly different camper. But overall, this one has everything that we need. The people that lived here before us renovated it, so it's really, really cute, and it was really well taken care of. The people actually before us, they had 5 kids in the camper, and they homeschooled all 5 kids. We will be homeschooling. Oh, you sneezed all over the cups, dude. Go sit down. But the people that lived in the camper before us had 5 kids, and they homeschooled them all, which was crazy. We do want to homeschool Easton when he is of age, but it'll just be the 1 kid and not 5. We want 1 more kid sometime, but we're definitely not having 5. So I can't imagine homeschooling 5 children in a camper, but that's what this camper was used for. So it worked out good because we have a bunk for the dogs. Hey, that's Mama's. We have a bunk for the dogs. We have a bunk for the baby. Whenever we have another baby, we got a bunk for that baby too. But camper life has been really cool with kids, and like everyone is so nervous about it because it's just like not normal. Hold on, that's Mama's. Hold on, kid. My son is taking my smoothie right now. Hey, give it back. He's drinking my smoothie. Give me my smoothie back. What color straw do you want, buddy? You want blue? Okay. You want red? Okay. Let's see. Looking at the comments. But yeah, living in a camper with kids has been amazing because everyone is like so nervous to do it because it's so weird. What color straw do you want? Red. Like, it's such an abnormal thing to do. We definitely had some like pushback from like friends and family when we decided that we wanted to live in a camper, especially because we have a toddler, but it has been amazing. Like, he slept all like pretty good this morning, so I got to get some of my work done, and then whenever I finish my work, I'm literally just gonna open the door and let Easton go outside, and we have so much room to roam. And I obviously like keep an eye on him and everything, like I'm outside with him, but like just being able to like let him feel the world around him and just like let him feel nature and like be like he has all these toys in here, but like he doesn't use the toys near as much as he just goes outside. And being able to travel with the weather has been amazing. Like, I remember this time last year in Missouri, it was cold, dark, icy, and like I was just not taking good care of myself, and it was just like not a good deal. Where like here, it's like the sun is always out. Like, it has rained I think 2 days since we've been here, which obviously comes with like some other hurdles just because it's so dry here all the time, but the sun is always out here in Arizona when it was not like that in Missouri. So like we are just taking better care of ourselves. We're like eating healthy foods. Like, we have like a banana, spinach, collagen smoothie going on right here. And we are moving our bodies a lot more. My husband and I did get the permit for Havasupai Falls, so I don't know if anyone knows what Havasupai Falls is. Yeah, I got a green straw. But Havasupai Falls is this massive hike in the Grand Canyon. It's a backpacking trip that you have to get a permit for. The permits are really hard to get. We put in for it, and we thought that we weren't going to get it, especially like on the first time around because we've heard how hard it is. But we put in for March, and March is like the off season for Havasupai Falls. So we knew that our chances were higher of getting it, but we still just thought we weren't going to get it because we've never won anything like that before. But we did win it. So we leave, I think, in like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. It's just me and my husband. My sister's actually flying out here to take care of our son in the camper while we're gone, and the dogs and everything. But we are doing a 4-day backpacking trip. So it is 10 miles down the Grand Canyon, and then you sleep there for 3 nights, and then you hike the 10 miles up. If you get lucky, you can catch a helicopter ride out, but the helicopters don't always run every day. I think it's like $85 a person, which like isn't bad at all. And so I'm very curious to see if we end up hiking out or if we end up taking a helicopter out. Helicopters have really strict rules with like when they can fly and stuff with the weather. So like if the weather's bad, we're just not going to be able to take a helicopter out, but we'll just see. But the Grand Canyon is one of my favorite national parks. I'm trying to get to all 63 national parks. I've been to like 29, I think, and my son has already been to like a handful. You want more? Mommy hasn't even gotten a drink yet, and you're already taking it. He loves the smoothie. It is definitely toddler approved. But my son has already been to like 7, 8, 9 national parks. I'd have to like look at the list again. My husband is starting to go to some. My husband didn't travel at all until we got together. So it's really cool to see him like embrace it, because I didn't know if he would ever enjoy it or if he would ever want to move out of Missouri and things like that. So like he's really liked it out here. We've gotten to do so much. My aunt and uncle live in California, and we'd never get to see them. So like being in Arizona, we got to see them while we were out here. We got to see my cousins that live in Arizona, and like it's so cool to be able to travel to see family members and stuff. But yeah, so I've been to all 50 states, 30 national parks, 11 countries so far. I really want to get more international traveling in. I don't know how much is going to happen this year, but I made it to like 8 countries last year, which was crazy. So I guess if this year's slower, it just is what it is. But we do live in a camper. If you have any camper questions, drop them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer them. We moved into a camper back in November. We had a house. We had like a 2,200 square foot house. My husband was constantly working. The house was expensive, and things like that. So we just did not enjoy, like, it felt like we had to constantly work just to afford a house that we were never in together. Now that we live in a camper, and now that we're working a little bit less, we still work a lot. Like, I work between 10 and 20 hours a week. My husband works 30 to 40 hours a week. But we get to eat breakfast and dinner together. Like, he's actually working 9 to 5 instead of working like 7 to 5, 7 to 6, 7 to 7. Like, his hours were crazy at his last job. So it's really cool to be able to eat 2 meals together a day. You want more smoothie? You're gonna drink all my smoothie? I'm gonna have to make some more. Someone said earlier, you said the solar panels were picky. What do you mean? So I have like a theory of what's happening. I don't know anything about solar panels, so like maybe this is totally not what's happening, but at least this is my perception of what's going on. We are at an up and coming campground, and we live here in our camper, and the campground purchased some solar panels, and they're basically testing them out over here on the work camper side before putting them over on the rental side. And hey, there's some right here. Easton, come here. And since we live out in the desert, the wind out here is crazy because we don't have any trees. Like, I'm used to Missouri and there being so many trees. And like, so like when it's windy, it's still like manageable. But out here when it's windy, like you have to go inside. Like, it can get really bad. And I had to sit outside with my computer because I was trying to get work done outside, and that didn't work. I ended up getting sand in my computer, and I had to take my computer to Best Buy, and they had to look at it and get all the sand out of it. So what? Oh, thank you. You're cleaning up my cup. Thanks. But what I think happened was that sand got in part of the, I've heard him say inverter, I've heard him say batteries. So I think sand got in something, and so it's just not working very well. So they are working on fixing that at the moment. But I think they'll be really reliable when we can figure out a way to protect them. It just wasn't well protected, is what I'm pretty sure is going on.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Can you tell them what your name is?
Easton.
Easton, and how old are you? Oh, dude. Does mommy get breakfast this morning? No, at least you're honest. What are you doing? Is that yummy? Travis it? Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, I can? Thank you.
You want it?
I love it. Thanks.
You want me?
Yeah, it's a green straw. Can you tell everybody how you like living in a camper? What's your favorite part?
Play
Being able to play?
and do night.
And go night-night. Do you like sharing a room with the dogs?
Yes.
Yes, you love playing with the dogs. What else do you like about living in a camper?
Make Dada do happy.
You like making Daddy so happy? That's so nice.
No.
What do we do sometimes that makes Daddy really happy? We clean up. Yep. Daddy likes a clean camper. That's another big difference between living in a house and living in a camper. Living in a house, like let's say your guest room or something is dirty, like if you just don't go in there, you don't notice it, and it's kind of just out of sight, out of mind. When your camper is messy, you don't have a choice but to look at it. And so we are constantly cleaning this camper up. Like, it feels like we are cleaning multiple times a day. But the good part is like, even if we want like what are you doing? The good part is that even if we want like even if we want to clean the entire camper from like one end to the other, it takes like 5 or 6 hours. Like, I couldn't even get one room done sometimes in 5 or 6 hours in a house. So like it was always so stressful to me because I would clean one room in the house and then just know that I have other rooms to clean up, and like I never felt like on top of it. Whereas Sunday, my husband and I and Easton, the best of his ability, we cleaned up the entire camper and are finally able just to like stay on top of it instead of like always feeling behind. So that's been really good. But what other questions do you guys have about camper life? And we just moved into a camper. It's my husband, me, and my toddler, and 2 dogs. And we moved into a camper in November, relocated from Missouri to Arizona. We relocate again this summer to a different campground. We do take seasonal camping jobs, which we love. It has been so freeing. It's nice because we're like on a contract, so like the first few hours we work every week pay for the spot that we live at, so we don't have any rent or anything. Now I will say some expenses were totally taken away and other expenses were just replaced. Like we have expensive utilities, like to keep gas in the generator all the time is expensive, to keep propane for the heat all the time is expensive. Like that kind of stuff is expensive. What, buddy? And we've noticed too that like obviously when you drive a truck with a camper on the back of it, the diesel is going to be more expensive because the truck's working harder. Oh, what was that for? Nuh-uh, get out of here. Get out of here. Since we are 35 minutes away from the closest town, no, quit. Every time we have to go to the playground or like go grocery shopping or something like that, we do have to drive 30 minutes each direction. 35 minutes. The closest town that we are to, buddy, you got like smoothie on you. The closest town that we are to is Holbrook, Arizona. We are right outside Petrified National Forest. Fun fact. Quit. No more, please. Easton, quit. This is what toddler life is like. I can't finish a thought without being interrupted. But we found out that at the Petrified Forest, they have a stop called Newspaper Rock. And you know those old things that like, they're like those big binoculars that you can put like a quarter in and look out or whatever. Well, this one you don't have to put a quarter in, but it's like the same thing. It's like these massive binoculars that you can look around. And they're there because you look down at the petroglyphs that are there, but if you look up, you can actually see our campground. We have this like massive like neon blue shed that we use for the storage, and like you can literally see the storage from or the storage shed from our Petrified Forest National Park. So that's how close we are to it, which is really cool. We finally have an address. Like literally when we got here, we didn't even have an address, so we've been using a P.O. box and things like that. And it's definitely off-grid living. And they are currently like working on establishing things like the septic tanks and like I mentioned several times, the solar panels and like things like that. So amenities are slowly being added, but they definitely weren't there when we got here, and they're definitely all not quite here now like yet. But we're making really, really good progress. It's fun to watch. Like when we got here, this land was just like, it had like a camper or 2 on it. This campground rents out vintage campers. So there was 2 campers just sitting on the property. I think they were both rentable at the time, but now we have like 5 or 6 campers. Literally the owner is going to go get a couple more today, and like there's like a road that my husband paved out for that. Like all the campers are just like neighbors, and they go around their little cul-de-sac and you know, like things like that. So it's really cool to watch something that wasn't much when we got here. Nope, you don't get another sticker till you go on the potty. So it was really cool to do that. What kind of jobs do we have? Excellent question. I'm sorry, my son's trying to take all of the potty training stickers. So I've had a marketing job. My husband and I originally are both first responders. I used to be a police officer. My husband used to be a firefighter, and then I actually jumped ship and went to fire department instead. We've been on volunteer fire departments together for like 5 or 6 years now. Went through the whole fire academy EMT school while I was a police officer. That was wild. We wanted to be on a volunteer fire department out here, but with us being so far out of everywhere, like even the fire departments were far away. Quit taking the stickers. So for the campground, my husband does everything from maintenance to housekeeping to guest relations. He is like the one talking to people on Airbnb sometimes. He flips the campers, make sure they're nice and clean for the next guest, give me the stickers. And he does a lot of the maintenance work. So like every time we have heavy equipment to like pave roads and things like that. Easton, buddy, you're killing me. He's grabbing everything that he's not allowed to touch. So he like gets the heavy equipment and makes the roads and things like that. I do social media and marketing. I have a remote marketing job. Hey, hold on, Benny. I have a remote marketing job that is totally separate from the campground. Easton, can you go play, please? Go find. Hey, if you go find pants and shoes, I'll let you go outside. You want to play outside? Go on, go find pants and shoes. Yep, I'll play outside with you. Go find pants and shoes. But I have a social media marketing job that I've had for a few years now. That's totally separate from the campground. So that's really nice. I do part-time work for them. And then when we came to the campground, my husband's doing all that maintenance, housekeeping, yada, yada. And then I do the social media marketing for the campground. And then when we relocate again this summer, I'm actually going to continue doing the marketing and stuff for this campground too. We were invited back for next winter. So we don't know what that looks like yet because we don't know what's, like, we have no idea what's happening in life, like, at 8 months from now, because this life is very, like, fluid. One shoe, thank you. You gotta find pants, too. But this life is very fluid, and we're always changing what we're doing in a camper. So we have no idea what's happening in our life that far ahead of time, but we were invited to come back here this winter, which is really awesome to have that opportunity because we really love it out here. The closer we get to leaving, like, I'll have to show you guys what it looks like outside again, Minnie, but it is just gorgeous here. I can show you out the window at the moment. Our neighbor lives in a school bus, which is really cool. So there's her school bus out there, but I mean, it's just desert. Oh, we gotta clean those windows. But I mean, it's just desert and it is gorgeous. And like, we never thought that we would be able to just like live in cool places like this. But he's bringing me all of his Mickey characters instead of his pants and socks and shoes so he can go outside. So yeah, so that's kind of what we do for work. At the next campground, it's going to be slightly different. Like, I'm going to do social media and marketing, but I'm also going to help out with some special events. And the awesome, amazing, amazing, amazing part about work camping is that it's very family oriented. So like, I'm going to like be working some of the events, and our owner at the next campground even said like, oh, if you're working an event, like there's nothing stopping your husband from taking your kid, and like you all can do it together as long as you're making sure everything is getting done and things like that. So the fact that I get to work and see my son and get paid and all of those things at the same time, I'm so grateful for that, because one of the reasons we chose camper life to begin with is because my husband was always working, always away. Like, I am so happily married and like still felt like a single mom because like everything was happening so fast and he never got to see any of it and things like that. So like the fact that we went from that environment to an environment where like it's encouraged to work with your family, like it's just absolutely crazy. Like we had a tractor here the other day, and like Easton got to go on a ride with my husband around to like help pave the roads and stuff, which was really cute. Did you have fun riding on the tractor? He loved riding on the tractor. Have you ever felt claustrophobic? Not too bad. So my husband, I think, feels claustrophobic sometimes. So the difference, I'm 5'1", my husband is 6'1". I think the only time he feels claustrophobic is in the shower, because the shower is just short. Like, even when I got in the shower for the first time, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel tall. It's like, I can't imagine how he feels in there. But other than that, not at all. We have like, I can show you guys. Let's see. So we have, excuse me. Thank you. And a toddler cuts you off no matter how big your house is, so I've learned that. But like, this is our bedroom. It's like we have a pretty good sized bedroom, and then here's the child. We have the kitchen that we need to tidy back up, and we have the living room that is currently, we're making a smoothie right now, but the living room is pretty big. And then Easton's room is huge and a disaster. So like, while the camper is small, we definitely like have a decent amount of space for everything. So I'm really thankful for that, because some of these campers, like, so this is 36 feet for reference. So 36 feet, and I think my husband said it weighs like 9,000 pounds when it doesn't have like all of our things in it and stuff. So 36 feet really isn't bad. It's really split up into like 3 different areas. We have our bedroom, we have the kitchen living room, and then we have our son's room. So like, you think about 36 feet, the living room kitchen's definitely bigger than our 2 bedrooms. So like, even if the kitchen's like 20 feet, you know, like it's not too bad. It really isn't. But we've loved living in a camper. Like, literally, like, we had to get rid of so many things to be able to make this work. I could not believe, like, we had a 2,200 square foot house. We had a 2-story house. Like, we had a guest room, a toy room, I see an office. The dogs had this massive room downstairs. We had his nursery. We had our bedroom. Like, we had so much space, and it was all just totally going to waste because all it did was just collect junk. Like, we had a guest room and people literally slept in it like once every few months. So like, we didn't need that. And like, we had an office, and like, I worked in the office sometimes, but like, I also had to work in the living room sometimes, also had to work outside sometimes, just depending on what Easton was wanting to do. So I never really got to work in the office that much. So like living in a camper instead now has been phenomenal because like we don't have all that extra space that is just collecting junk. So like it's been like totally life changing. The night that we had to close on our house, so we had to close on our house at like noon or something like one day, and the night before we were cleaning stuff out of our house until like 2 o'clock in the morning because every time we thought that we got rid of everything, we would like open up a cabinet door, open up a closet door, and like just find more junk. And we literally had like just these separate piles. We had like a donate pile, we had like a trash pile, we had like a few sentimental things that went to my parents' house. So we had like a pile for that, and then a pile of stuff that was actually going to go in the camper. The camper did make it to our driveway. I think it was just there for a couple weeks. So like we would slowly start moving stuff from our house into our camper, but we realized really quickly that we really couldn't move our stuff from our house into the camper because the stuff that was actually coming to the camper was stuff that we use every single day. So we couldn't move the pots and pans over because we needed to use them. We couldn't move over this or that because we needed to use them. So like it was really reassuring that we were only moving things that were super important to us, instead of just moving a whole lot of everything. So like the fact that we don't have that extra space actually feels so much better. Easton's playing with all of these Mickey characters. Good job. But so yeah, I think the only place that we would maybe feel claustrophobic is in the shower. But other than that, like we have so much space for everything, and as long as we keep it clean, that's the big key. Easton destroys his room so fast that like we just have to constantly clean it up. But as long as we keep it clean, like, we feel like we have all the space that we need in our camper, and, like, we are just so thankful to be living in such a unique place. But what other questions do you guys have? I would love to answer some more questions about camper life, work camping, traveling. I see all your characters in a row. You got some Monsters, Inc. characters, too. But I would love to hear your questions. I've been to all 50 states, 11 countries so far. We are huge travelers. My husband had never been out of the Midwest until we got together, and now we're together going on 8 years, and he's been to half the states. He's been overseas now, which has been awesome. But one of my favorite ways to travel is, oh, he's hit my camera with his characters. One of my favorite ways to travel overseas is group tours. I've gone with 40 people I've never met before, like 3 different times. And my husband did come with me once, but the rest of the times he wasn't even there either. And getting to travel with group tours, I see, buddy. Thank you. Getting to travel with group tours overseas is phenomenal. Like, it's such a cool way to meet like-minded people. And it's so funny because, like, I say like-minded, like, we were totally different from each other, but we all love traveling. So, like, and we all have the same perspective of traveling. Like, hey, we're young and once, like, let's get all the traveling taken care of, you know, things like that. So, overseas with group tours, I've been to Peru, I've been to Portugal. Well, I guess Portugal I did on my own on my way to a group tour in Morocco. Thank you, buddy. Can you go put them back in your room? Okay. But I did do Portugal on the way to Morocco, and then my husband and I did Germany, Italy, Austria, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. So that was really cool. Do we have any other vehicles? Oh, we have had a journey with vehicles, let me tell you. So we have my SUV out here. The camper that we are in is not an RV, so like we cannot drive our camper. We have to pull it with the truck. We do have my SUV out here. The truck, we had a lot of issues. We got scammed buying a truck. This guy provided receipts for engine work that was done, and my husband and my father-in-law, who's a diesel mechanic, tore the truck apart after we bought it and realized that none of that work was actually done to it. It's crazy. There's a whole story on my YouTube channel about it. But it was awful. So basically, we ended up having to... The truck, I'm trying to figure out how to explain. So we left home and then had to turn around and come back, and left home and turn around and came back several times because the truck would overheat and start spewing coolant. The reason we didn't know that is because when we were driving the truck initially, it's totally fine without a camper being pulled on it, but every time it pulled a camper, it would start spewing coolant, it would overheat, and we couldn't use it. So we would literally like make it like an hour away from home with the camper, and then it would start spewing coolant, we had to turn around and go back. I see, buddy. They're all laying down sleeping? Yeah. And then like the next time we would try to leave with the camper, we would get like an hour and a half away from home and turn around and come back. Well, eventually we made it like 5 hours away from home. Easton, you need pants and shoes on to go outside. Come get them. You gave me one shoe. Go find your other shoe. But we had, we made it like 5 hours away to Arkansas. Broke down, had to get towed. We had to spend the night at a mechanic shop because of how bad the truck was. So long story short, the truck is still being fixed in Missouri. One of us is going to have to fly to Missouri, pick it up, and bring it out here. But at the end of it, we will have our camper, our SUV, and our truck. It's been a nightmare, but we are super thankful that it's finally getting fixed. We are going to still come out of it without a payment, but like barely. We had all these plans, all these road trips, and the truck totally set us off. We were supposed to get to here to Arizona in like November. We ended up not getting here till December. We had 3 road trips we were supposed to do. All of them got canceled. So the whole truck thing really made a big deal. And to see our truck broken down and our camper on the side of the interstate, just like hoping and praying that no one rear ends it, is super nerve-wracking. So my biggest tip for anyone that's looking to go to camper life is to get a reliable truck, because that would have made a really, really big difference for us. It would have made our transition a lot smoother. It just would have made it a lot better. So that's my tip for that. But I think Easton's trying to get pants on and shoes on so we can go outside. That is the beautiful part about camper life, is we spend so much more time outside than we typically did. So I'm really thankful for that. We are trying to get to 1,000 hours outside this year. We are a little slow, a little behind. Easton was sick for a little bit, but he actually in Missouri had ended up in the hospital every year for illnesses, and he has not, knock on wood, gotten that bad this year. So I'm hoping that coming to Arizona was actually a really good thing for him, because it's making such a huge difference for our health. We're taking care of ourselves better. We're getting more sunshine. And he is doing really, really good so far. So I'm hoping to keep that up. But yeah, we do have a work truck here sometimes. My husband is currently taking the SUV somewhere. I don't know where he's going. But we do have to go to town today. So basically when we go to town, we have to basically do grocery shopping, get our utilities refilled, everything all at the same time. So I think we're going to go to town today, which it has to be like 45 minutes each direction. So that's why we try to get everything done all at the same time, instead of like just going back and forth for groceries and then going back again for the playground and then going back again for utilities. Like, we try to knock it all out at once. So I think today is going to be an errand day for sure. Any tips for RV life? Lots of tips for RV life. I could do a whole video just on this by itself. My biggest tip is to just stay flexible. Like, things happen. Like, I've talked about this entire video. We had truck issues. We had utility issues and like things like that. Oh, thank you. Oh, we're wearing oh, these are pants. I need shorts because it's hot outside. Shorts are the little ones. Can you go try again? Thank you. But just remain flexible and remain optimistic. Like, looking back at everything, like, there were so many times we were like, oh my gosh, what did we just do? Is this the right decision? And like, looking back at it, it totally was. We've come out stronger because of it. We are so happy with it now that we're in a rhythm, but like, that transition can be really, really hard. So just like, be ready for that. That's still pants. Go look again. Go see what else you can find. Another tip for camper life is to know how... Okay, I guess we're wearing dinosaur pants with a Blippi shirt today. So another tip for camper life is to think about your income. Like, think about how you will be making money. The work camping program is amazing. There's literally Facebook groups where you can say, hey, these are my skills. I'm looking for a campground. And like, because we knew that we wanted to live in a camper, but we didn't want to necessarily move the camper constantly. Like, some people only keep a camper in one place for like 2 weeks, and I think that would drive me crazy. So like, we're here for I think we're gonna end up being here for like 4 or 5 months. We're at our next place for 6 months. And so think about how you're going to make your money. The Facebook groups is basically like, you say, hey, these are my available dates, these are my skills, and every campground is different. Some of them are just volunteers, so you got to look out for that. If you are in a position where you're like retired and you're receiving money from the government every month and stuff like that, like that kind of stuff is really, really good. But if you still need to pay your bills actively every single month, you have to find a work camping position that pays you. So some of them, like the spot that you stay is included. Like, here we work 6 hours a week, and that pays for our camper to sit here, so like, we don't have rent or mortgage or anything, like any of that kind of stuff. And then every hour after that is paid, and we get paid really well because we are at a rural campground. She even said that that's why we get paid well, is because we're just so far out in the middle of nowhere right now. But the next campground, we take a little bit of a pay cut, but we're in town, and here's the difference too. So here, since it's an up-and-coming campground, we still have to pay for like gas for our generator and propane for our heat and things like that, where the next campground is fully established, so we will have everything hooked up. So we will have the water hooked up, the electric hookup. We still have to deal with propane. There's no way to like hook up propane to a camper. So we still will have that, but it'll be nice to just be able to constantly go to the bathroom, constantly do dishes, constantly shower without having to worry about like what our water levels are and things like that. Which brings me to my next tip. Always look at your utility levels. It is not fun to be in the middle of winter and to realize at 2 a.m. that your propane ran out. It gets really cold in here and really hot in here. And we have to figure out a way. So this is our first season in the camper, and I'm kind of nervous about summer because like we know that the heat gets like you feel hot in the camper. Easton, he's swinging on the kitchen table. We know that it gets hot. In the camper when it's hot outside, so we just have to be prepared for that. We're going to get fans and things like that. So be prepared for the weather. The weather is going to affect you no matter what. So just be prepared for that. We have to go back to Missouri during tornado season, so I am hoping that we can avoid that at all costs because that would be detrimental. Any RV truck tips, buy from a dealer and buy with a warranty. We bought from a private seller. The guy lied to us, provided us receipts with work that wasn't done to it, and that ended up screwing us big time. Like we had to be so delayed with all of our travels. My husband was saying that it has to be, so again, I know nothing about vehicles, but like it has to be like 250, 2500, like Ford F-250, like it has to be like 250 or more to be able to like carry the camper. But if you have like a really small camper, like if you're traveling by yourself in like one of those little teardrops, you can do that in like an SUV. But like it's important to know how much your camper weighs to know what kind of truck you need for it. Definitely get it from a dealership. Definitely get it with warranty. Like you just want to have all of those extra resources in your back pocket. Like I would have rather had a payment this whole time than trying to like pay off a cheap truck with cash. So like you just have to get a reliable one like that. We've put more money into that than we did into our camper. Our camper, we got off of Facebook Marketplace, which actually was also really risky, but we have lucked out with that. But it was like you can get campers. I mean, it all depends on your budget. You need your shoes. Go get your other shoe. I only got one shoe right now. Go get your other one. Oh, Easton, there's shorts. Come here. Come here, buddy. Look, come here. Your shorts are right over here. Go get the shorts and I'll switch them for you because it's hot outside. There you go. But yeah, so the camper, you can get really nice, really expensive campers. Like you can easily spend $100,000 on a camper, and we knew from the very beginning we did not have the budget for that. So our camper doesn't have like all of the nicest things or whatever, but like it's perfect for our family. We knew we needed a door for our son's room because he does not sleep very well, so like we wanted that noise barrier. And like some campers just have bunks without like an actual door, so like we knew that was important to us. We knew we'd be traveling with 2 dogs, so we had to like designate a spot for them. So it was really important to us to find a camper that fit our needs, and I recommend finding a camper that fits your needs, whatever those may be. But think about those things because you do spend as much time as a camper as you in a camper as you would do in your house or apartment. So just make sure it's one that's like worth investing in, and make sure you have a truck that is powerful enough to pull it. What's better, a trailer or a truck? Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that? Exactly. I guess, are you talking about like a camper that you have to pull with a truck versus an RV that you drive? Maybe? I was always told, it's kind of like twofold. So I was always told that you shouldn't get an RV because if you have engine issues, which are common, like to have like regular vehicle issues, that like then your house is gone. Like if you have to send your RV to the shop like to get engine work done, then like now you don't have a house to sleep in either, and you end up in like a hotel. We're gonna go outside right now. So that can be really challenging. Where right now we've had all these truck issues, and the truck has been able to be fixed in Missouri while the camper is been able to be our home in Arizona. So I would definitely recommend like a truck and a camper over an RV. I say that though, and other people have really great luck with RVs. Again, it's just kind of, you kind of have to like pay for one, get it from a dealership, get warranty, all those things. But like every time we had truck issues, if we would have had to unload our house at the same time, like we wouldn't have made it. We would have been so stressed out. So I recommend getting a truck and a camper instead of an RV, just for the sole purpose that you can get vehicle work done to it without having to like unload your home or anything like that, because that would have been crazy. I mean, we have our whole life in here. We have like, our important documents. We have like our pots and pans, and we have our son's clothes and our son's diapers. Like I can't imagine having to like unload everything every time we had vehicle issues. So I'm really thankful from that standpoint, even though we have had a lot of truck issues, that we have been able to like separate the truck issues from our home, like instead of having to have it all at the same time. These are amazing questions. What other questions do you guys have about camper life? Let's see what my son is doing. Oh, this is what our view looks like right now in the lovely desert of Arizona. It feels beautiful outside. Easton's in his shorts and boots over here. You want to play cornhole? You want me to play cornhole with you? You do? Will you turn the board and give Mommy just a few more minutes on the video, and then I'm going to come play with you? Yeah, let's bring the video outside. We can talk outside. Let's see. But yeah, being able to have like a bonfire every night and being able to like just come sit out here. I will play cornhole with you. Give Mommy 5 minutes. Go get it ready. Go get all the bags in one pile together, please. But being able just to like live in a camper and be outside and like just be in nature like more has just been so phenomenal. Like it feels good to just like let our son run outside. It feels good to like be able to cook meals outside. It feels good to be able to have a bonfire at night. Get all of them. He's playing with our cornhole set from our wedding. But being outside, being in a camper, it's just such a different lifestyle. Like I cannot believe we didn't come across this sooner. It is so much more peaceful. Like it's just like you don't have to do so much around the house that you would normally have to do. You have to clean all the time, but like it's like quick cleaning, not like prolonged cleaning. And it's just like a whole different vibe. And we could not be more thankful to just be at peace, be resting. Like, you know, everything's just slower, smoother, and like even all the hurdles that we had, this was the best decision we could have ever made. I love raising kids on the road. People are so nervous about us raising a kid on the road. He loves it. And, you know, we talk about, you know, homeschooling him and everything, and everyone's so concerned about how he's going to socialize. And, like, he socializes more now than he did when we lived in a house. Like, when we lived in a house, we only knew, like, 1 or 2 of our neighbors. Like, here, our neighbors are our coworkers. Like, all of our coworkers live, like, right here, and then like all the people that rent are behind me, and so like we are able to like literally all of our coworkers are coming over to our camper tonight for us to all have a bonfire together. And like so being able to like really get to know your neighbors because they're your coworkers is really cool. And like work camping in general is so unique because like everyone does this seasonal work and then you all end up crossing paths for, you know, a season here. And it's so crazy to be able to like talk to people and like hear their experiences. My husband and I's ultimate goal, we would love to own our own campground one day. We have the skills for it. Like he's very like he has a lot of experience with retail management. So he's very, very good with like managing people and he's very good with his hands. Like he's been doing septic systems here. He's been renovating campers here. So like he knows what has to be done to do it properly. And like, I know how to get people here because I do marketing and social media and stuff like that. So like our skills could not be good, buddy. Our skills could not be more comparable with each other to own our own campground one day. So we're super stoked for that. We're kind of using this and, you know, our next few assignments is like ways to learn how other people are doing things so we can learn best how we want to do our own campground one day. Leave that alone, please. But so we are so excited to be able to like really have a good place one day. Like we cannot wait to start our own campground, and we think that living in a camper and having all these seasonal work assignments are going to be really, really good for our knowledge for that. You want to play cornhole? Yeah. It is 10 o'clock in the morning, 10:45 in the morning here Mountain Time, and our son is asking me to play cornhole. We're going to play cornhole in just a second. Do you want to come say bye to everybody? Bye. Hey, come here. Come here. Last chance. Any other camper questions for me?
Bye.
Bye. Any other camper questions for me? Any other traveling questions for me? Any other parenting on the road questions? I'd be more than happy to answer them. Hey, put that down. I don't want you to get splintered. Put it down. He's playing with our fire stick that we use to stir up our bonfire every night. But please, if you like what you hear, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I plan on doing these like casual live videos more often. I did like a really formal live video the other day where like we cleaned the camper, I did a tour of it, things like that. So if you're interested in seeing a tour of our camper, I did just post that a couple days ago. So be sure to look at our camper tour. I do want to do some of these more casual, like day in the life kind of camper life live videos. So if you have any questions, if you have any desire to learn about that kind of stuff, please subscribe to our channel. Please just we are trying to eventually make we're gonna play cornhole in just a second. We are trying to we are trying to make social media our full-time job eventually, so we can travel a little bit more. So that is our ultimate goal. Let's see, when do you usually go live? This is literally my second live video, so welcome. I will start announcing it more. I'm gonna try to do it like twice a week, definitely in the mornings. I feel like just because I feel like that's when Easton is usually behaving the best. You want to play cornhole? We're gonna get ready to. Mommy's got 2 more minutes. So yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be like mornings, maybe like twice a week. I'm gonna aim for to start 2-3 times a week and just answer people's questions. Camper life is a really unique thing. It's really like, I'm happy that it's becoming such a big thing now. It didn't used to be. So whoever discovered this, whoever started doing this, I mean, this is a phenomenal way to live. It's simple, it's cheaper, it's smoother, it's peaceful. Like, we just could not be happier with this lifestyle that we chose. What, buddy? You want to put a hat on because of the wind? All right. Well, I guess we are going to get out of here. Subscribe to our channel. Wish me luck with a toddler and working from home today. I'm going to need it. Daddy took Mama's car. Do you want to come press the red button? You love pressing red buttons. I think there's a red button to end this. Let's see. Oh, no, it's an X right here. Right here. That's not the red one. Or, I mean, that is the red one. That's not the button you need to press. We press this button over here. Can you say bye, everybody?
This one.
Press